Hey, this is Notser, and this is the Tier 7 US Battleship Colorado. It has 8 main guns, 16 secondary guns, 75 AA guns, a top speed of 21.4 knots, total health 50,100. For my modules, reduce crit chance on main battery, increase AA range, reduce flood and fire chance, faster rudder shift. And for my commander, situational awareness, basic survivability, basic firing training, faster turret traverse, lower cooldown on damage control, and advanced firing training. We are on the map Hotspot. I spawned on the southwest, and I'm going to move to support C. The Colorado, Tier 7 US Battleship, is the last slow battleship, finally, in the US Battleship line. I can't wait. This is actually the last game in the Colorado for me. I earned the North Carolina because of this game. And I've actually gotten a really good game in North Carolina. But first, the Colorado. Now the Colorado, she's slow. Her guns, okay. Range, pretty bad. AA, fantastic. Stock rudder shift, awful. But in the right hands, you can be okay, good even. But this is not a consistent carry ship. Certainly not on the level of the North Carolina, the Iowa, the Yamato. These ships are way better. This is just a filler ship that you have to work your way through. And we got an enemy Colorado opposite of us. We fire on his position. He's slightly angled. We're slightly angled. He trades a little bit better than we do with him. But it's going to be a while for us to get to the location we want to get to. So we'll probably get a better trade eventually. The speed really has been the worst part of this. You really can't go and support your team whenever you need to be there. Friendly aircraft carrier does a nice torpedo strike on the Colorado. Now we have an advantage. We reload, we fire, but the island gets in the way for some reason, even though we have the Colorado set. What a weird shot right there. That was so weird. Whatever. We got plenty of time. 15 minutes left in this game. It goes all the way. He knocks out one of our guns. We gotta wait for that to fix itself before we can even access it. And 3 remaining turrets are ready to go. We're gonna fire on his position. He's moving broadside with us. We aim just slightly above because he's moving away, barely. And we get okay damage. He basically is back to where he was before he used his heal. The back gun that had to be repaired is almost ready to fire. Probably the last gun we'll get to use before the island gets in the way. We really haven't seen any enemies except for the enemy Colorado. He is our counterpart. We are the top tier. If we could take out the Colorado, we'll help our team. As sad as that might sound, that the Colorado is the top of the food chain. Certainly not the top of the food chain, in my opinion. I would much rather have a Cleveland than this Colorado. We do minimal damage to the target, and an enemy Cleveland dies as he's trying to leave the sea point. There's an enemy Cleveland also in front of us that will reach in probably 4 or 5 minutes because that's how slow this ship is. It really is killer. It really is. The maps keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I just stay the same speed in all the US battleships. We fire our guns. We aim for the waterline slightly above, barely, because he's moving away. And we look like we're going to do pretty good damage. We do pretty good damage. That's serviceable. Could be better, but that Colorado is going to be less interested in engaging targets. We also have to worry about this enemy Cleveland, which can annihilate a battleship very quickly between fires and the rate of the guns. It's a little scary. So 100% focus on this Cleveland, who has appeared to take at least a torpedo. And he's showing his side. This is gravy. This is a perfect opportunity to do damage to him. He actually continues the turn. He moves inside the AP waterline shot, and most of it goes long and hits the superstructure. We do minimal damage, and he's a little bit angled. Not ideal, but what can you do? There's a lot of torpedoes in the water. They're distracting the target. He's less inclined to maintain the direction that you want them to go, and everyone has probably run into a situation where they've got a perfect shot on a target, and an aircraft carrier comes in, does a bombing run, forces the target to maneuver, and it changes the part of the ship that your rounds hit, and it's less effective. Happens constantly to me. If you're more aware of the situation, you might hold your fire, you might wait for the enemy. In this scenario, we're just trying to get in the way, do a little bit of damage to the Colorado. We see that there's a lot of cruisers moving in to capture C. We're the most far forward. We're going to take a lot of cruiser fire. We need to make sure that we can find a cruiser that is susceptible to us. It looks like initially I was going to go Cleveland, but the island's going to be in the way, so we're going to go with the Omaha, who is burning. Looks like he has 3 fires on his ship, but he's showing his side. He's having to maneuver for a torpedo set, so he's going to be less inclined to avoid this damage. We're able to land a big shot. Citadel penetration, completely wipe him out. His last shots land on our ship, do minimal damage. We're burning, but we only have 1 fire. I'm not going to cut and use my damage control for 1 fire. I'm just going to use my heal. There's a Cleveland that appears to have turned back towards sea. We also have this Colorado obviously firing on us, but he's going to be behind an island. We're not going to have a clear shot when our guns come up, but this Cleveland looks like he's coming outside of the island. He's going to be broadside with us, moving east to west. Whenever you're firing on a Cleveland, you want them to be broadside. If they have angling of any manner, it's not really going to be an effective AP shot. Very minimal angling. He's moving away, so we raise the elevation slightly, and we lead the target, and he disappears. But we know what happened. We kill him 100-0. See you later, Cleveland. So the Cleveland, lots of damage potential, instantly taken off the battlefield. We now have to worry about the enemy Colorado. He, last I checked, was moving east through sea. The friendly destroyer is able to move into sea and not feel threatened by the Cleveland. The Cleveland just had too much power. We didn't have a lot of health. If he were to engage us, he probably could have beaten us in a 1v1 as long as he was angled. Which he wasn't, obviously. That's why we defeated him in 1 shot. We are spotted by an enemy aircraft, and the enemy Colorado sees where we're going. He has a little bit less than twice our hit points, so he's probably feeling very confident in his ability to fight me 1v1. And for me, I really can't change where I'm going. I have to just use my skills to overcome this deficit, angling waterline shots on the enemy. Perhaps the Isokaze and my friendlies can harass the Colorado enough that it will force him to angle his ship in a broadside manner to myself, make it a little bit easier to penetrate and destroy him. At this point in the game, it's very close. We've got our aircraft carriers alive. We've got an Isokaze that's pretty damaged, and we have me and a friendly battleship with a AFK cruiser, which has been allowed to exist by B the entire game, miraculously. And look at this! We have the health advantage because of our allies. Our allies were able to do a lot of damage to him. He fires on my position. We have pretty good angling. He does take out our front gun, so we won't have it for this salvo. But we're able to do okay damage. We could have done better. Looked like he adjusted his speed slightly. And now he's angled where we're going to have less of an impact on his ship. But we are going to take advantage of this window where he cannot fire and re-angle our ship. We've got enemy aircraft incoming. If we weren't doing this, we probably would be susceptible to torpedo strikes. But since we have angled our ship again, we take an okay amount of damage from him, but we're moving away from the enemy aircraft, taking them out as they're trying to get close to my ship. We're fully reloaded. We're ready to go. He's showing his nose. Nose is not a safe zone. Look at that dispersion on that front gun, by the way. And we kill it with our back guns. No thanks to that front gun that went way off. Can't believe that dispersion. But yeah, your nose is not a safe zone. You're not going to bounce shots. The nose and the butt. Stem and the stern. Very low armored zones. If you're going straight at a target, your armor counts for nothing. I can penetrate into your turrets, your body of your ship, and do tons of damage. They made that change a couple patches ago, and I don't think everyone realizes how vulnerable they are if they're moving straight at a target. But we destroy the enemy battleship. We have plenty of health. We probably have more health than we did at the start because we were able to use a heal. We're going to move back slowly towards the remaining enemies, and in 3 to 4 minutes we'll get in range in order to engage them, probably. It's just so pathetic. That enemy New York is really in a fight. AA going off constantly. Torpedoes in the water. He's low health. Doesn't look like the friendly Congo has an angle to fire on him either. So we're just going to keep moving west. Hopefully the New York will try and engage us and will remain in range. So when he comes out of the island, I'll be able to engage him. I just love it how our aircraft carrier on both sides are alive, haven't made contact with one another, and battleships are just fighting tooth and nail, trying to survive, with a AFK cruiser who is most likely going to get a free win for doing nothing. I hope he literally gets 0 on his XP, but most likely he's going to get credit for spotting or just being alive. So Cerberus, the New York, very low, is about to pop out of this island, and we're trained on his position. We have all guns ready to fire. We are spotted by the aircraft, so he knows that we have an intention to kill. And just need to make sure, don't want another weird island shot. It's cleared out, waterline shot, and we lead minimal because it's a US battleship and they're super slow. Friendly Congo does pretty good damage, and we finish off the target. That was pretty painless. We don't have any range on the enemy New York. We're going to try and get range on the enemy New York. Looks like the Congo's still burning from something. Maybe a dive bomb attack he fires on the enemy New York. He has to have range. I mean, he's a Congo. He's fast, and he takes a big shot, probably from the enemy New York. And he's burning real fast. 250 a second. It's really imperative that you carriers get one of your dots to stick. That's so much extra damage on a target. Either you lead with your torpedoes and have your fire stick, or you lead with your fire and you have your torpedo stick. And the Congo, he's maneuvering wildly. He knows what's coming. Dive bombers are coming for his position. I'm trying to get in range, but I'm just too slow. I'm not going to get in time. He's going to take dive bombers. He's already got one fire set. Looks like he lost 1,000 hit points. Another dive bomber hits a big shot. Does probably 4,800. And it looks like he set another fire. He's dying. He's dead. Oh, that's great. Yeah, it's just great. Being in a Colorado, being too slow to react to the team. You watch your teammates die, and you know you can help them. That's the other thing. It's not fun going this slow and watching your team die. We got an enemy torpedo bomber incoming. Clearly set it as a focus. Thankfully, the dive bomber does not set a fire. So we're not going to take extra damage. We don't have any more heals, obviously. We're able to completely destroy the torpedo bomber before it reaches our position. And now there's just enemy aircraft hovering over our position, telling the enemy battleship our exact location. He captures B. Friendly aircraft carrier sends out a torpedo and a dive bomber. We'll see how much damage that does. I'm kind of surprised that any aircraft get anywhere near the enemy battleship. There's so many enemy fighters. Why don't you just hover around your battleship and protect it the whole time? Whatever. So, torpedoes land on the enemy battleship. They do pretty good damage. We are about to be in range. This island's almost outside of the line of fire. We barely see over it. We've got a couple palm trees in the way, but we fire with our front guns. I don't want to angle to use my back guns. That would slow me down even more. We land one shell, do nothing with it. And he's probably going to kill this Furutaka, and I'm not going to be able to do a damn thing about it. But he is burning, And he's probably taking a flood too. He's taking a lot of damage a second. Somewhere in the realm of 750. That's really good. Probably 2 fires, maybe a fire and a flood. But we're going to fire again with our front guns. We have a torpedo bomber incoming. And we need to make sure that we don't take the torpedo. So we switch attentions to moving our ship, and we're completely safe. The AA protects us. Friendly dies. Well, is he really a friendly if he's AFK the entire game and provides nothing for the team? No, he's not a friendly. The neutral player on our team dies. The enemy New York also dies. But they do have 2 points to our 1. We have about 100 points on them. And there's a minute 45 left in this game. This is going to be a tight one. I don't know if I'll get to B, but I'm going to sure try to get to B. Speed, you let me down. I wish I could inject you with nitro or something. Just put the destroyer boost on the battleship. I just want something, anything to get speed out of this sucker. We got a dive bomber over our position. He does set a fire. We don't see any other dive bombers close by. We do see an enemy torpedo bomber. And if you're going to keep your fighters over us, we're just going to chew them up. We got plenty of AA ammunition.
Fighter ready for takeoff.
We do have our fighter up to provide protection. And this is weird. Dive bombers come from the west side. What was they looking for? Maybe he was looking for the last cruiser? And I figure, oh no, does this mean there's an enemy aircraft carrier on the western side of the map? Am I going to really deal with dive bombers constantly? They're within 50 points. I don't know the health of my friendly carriers behind me. Looks like they took a torpedo. But okay, they're full health. Good. There's basically no way they're going to die. I'm the closest to dead. And I'm almost at the flag. We're going to be able to decap it, at least stop it ticking up. Looks like we're going to win this, though. It looks like after all of this sailing, travel, slowly, we win this game. And the Colorado, you held me back so much. We overcome the AFK target. We barely win, barely. We get 4 kills, 37 aircraft killed. About the only thing the Colorado's good at. We're able to do 2,243 base XP. We did that one shot on that Cleveland. That should count for something. We did 75,000 points of damage. I hope you enjoyed this Colorado gameplay. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.